Or Plessy. It's a familiar name for those who know about the Supreme Court ruling in Plessy versus Ferguson. Back in 1892, Plessy, a racially mixed shoemaker, was arrested in New Orleans for boarding a whites-only train car. He was convicted of violating the Louisiana Separate Car Act. His appeal eventually made its way to the Supreme Court, where the doctrine, separate but equal, was upheld. That justified segregation everywhere. Well, now, nearly a century after Plessy's death, Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards pardoned Plessy and expunged his record. Other civil rights activists are asking for their criminal records to be cleared as well. Our correspondent, Diane Roberts, traveled to Montgomery, Alabama, where 82-year-old Claudette Colvin is finally receiving justice.
History casts a long shadow on Montgomery. This capital city is synonymous with the bus boycotts so integral to the civil rights movement. 9 months before Rosa Parks became the symbol of resistance, a young 15-year-old girl named Claudette Colvin was riding the bus home from high school when the driver ordered her to give up her seat to a white woman.
I had a light blue sweater and a dark blue skirt. I never forget that.
Handcuffed by police and forcibly removed from the bus, Colvin was arrested for keeping the seat she paid for.
History had me glued to the seat. I said, it felt as though Harriet Tubman hand was pushing me down on one shoulder, and Sojourner Truth hand was pushing me down on another.
As she recounts in her book, Twice Toward Justice, the arrest was a traumatic experience. Then they put me back in the car and drove me to the city jail, the adult jail. Someone led me straight to a cell without giving me any chance to make a phone call. He opened the door and told me to get inside. He shut it hard behind me and turned the key. Then I fell down on my knees in the middle of the cell and started crying again. I didn't know if anyone knew where I was or what had happened to me. Colvin's school friends got the word out, and Colvin's mother got help with bail and rescued the teen. Claudette's arrest provided a much-needed opportunity for a civil rights movement in need of legal victory.
It all started on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama, at this very spot.
Claudette Colvin and others were plaintiffs in a lawsuit that challenged the constitutionality of Montgomery's bus segregation laws. It went all the way to the Supreme Court, and Fred Gray was their lawyer.
The whole history of the civil rights movement may have been different but for Claudette Colvin. Don't underestimate what an individual can do, even though they're 15 years old.
On November 13, 1956, the Supreme Court ruled the segregation laws in Montgomery were unconstitutional.
Claudette, we love you! Claudette, we love you!
At 82, Claudette Colvin is in the spotlight again. In late October, her attorneys filed papers at the Montgomery County Courthouse, asking the courts to expunge her arrest record and clear her name.
The very end, it just asks that they expunge your record.
Colvin has been on indefinite probation for nearly 70 years. Now, an Alabama judge has cleared her name, as Colvin says, granting justice long overdue.
I guess you can say that now I'm no longer a juvenile delinquent.
It's a footnote added to civil rights history, where the lives of pioneers Parks and Colvin will be forever intertwined. December 1st is Rosa Parks Day in Montgomery, celebrating the mother of the civil rights movement. March 2nd is Claudette Colvin Day, a history told in the mural at the entrance to Colvin's old neighborhood, where Colvin's youthful act of courage meets her present victory.
This says you are never too young or old to make a difference.
That's powerful. In Montgomery, I'm Diane Roberts for Matter of Fact.
Diane's report is part of our latest listening tour, Promises of Change, featuring guests like workers' rights icon Dolores Huerta and Crystal Echo Hawk, an advocate for Native Americans in the media. Watch the Matter of Fact listening tour, Promises of Change, on matteroffact.tv.